it's about bettering yourself, and we're just basically trying to figure out the most efficient way for us to be. The best way at the moment to define parkour is express yourself through movement, which is exploring what your body's capable of. So we can't really be efficient if we haven't explored what our body is capable of, just as you can't write your name if you haven't learned the alphabet first. Parkour in my whole life is being efficient throughout every single day. You know, I'm doing this because it's physically better for me, plus I get to my destination faster, and it is just trying to achieve personal best. Well, I really wanted to experience a little bit more of the theme and the culture of Mexico. So we came to Xilitla, and Xilitla is a small town in the middle of Mexico, surrounded by mountains, and it's kind of like in the outback. It's not a city, it's a little town, and it's a little bit more what I feel Mexico is about. It's like not the stereotype Mexico, sombrero, ponchos and all that, but the mountains and the sunrise and the air and the plants and the people and the architecture. It just seems a little bit more how I feel Mexico should be. I mean, the main purpose of coming to Xilitla was to visit a place called Las Pozas, which is an architect named Edward James, who was a Scotsman, and he designed a crazy environment in the middle of nowhere. You know, it's like, but he's adapted his architecture to try and fit the environment. So it's a very unpredictable, crazy architecture, and we wanted to see if I can adapt my style to fit his architecture the way he adapted his architecture to fit the environment.
Edward James llegó aquí en 1947. Era un lugar verdaderamente remoto en la Sierra Madre, ¿no? Era muy difícil, no había un camino apropiado para llegar. Fue toda una aventura descubrirlo, y que cuando vino, dice el que tuvo un momento místico, una especie de déjà vu, que perdió noción de tiempo, espacio, donde estaba, y que cuando volvió estaba cubierto, todo su cuerpo cubierto de insectos, y él lo tomó como una comunión, ¿no? Como lugar, como una invitación del lugar. Y ya se le puso que iba a adquirir el lugar, y tuvo esta revelación, y así lo manifestó con todas estas obras.
Xilitla en el mundo arquitectónico es una obra pues increíble, ¿no? Que alguien haya dedicado tantos años de su vida a irse a un lugar, empezar a desarrollar una serie de cosas, mucha como inspirada en naturaleza, mucha en como para provocar naturaleza o como para contraponerse a cosas que estaban pasando naturales, pero finalmente es un referente obligado. Yo creo que cualquier persona que esté en arquitectura o tenga interés por arquitectura, y es más, hasta para no arquitectos, ¿no? Llegar a este lugar y encontrarte con eso, cualquier persona sensible entenderá el lugar perfecto.
The work of Edward James seems to be very alive. You know, the buildings and the architecture, they look like they've grown out of the jungle. If you look at like a tree, you know, every tree is different and it grows with branches and leaves. But imagine if trees grew with concrete and steps, and that's what it looks like. It looks like it's just grown, and so it seems to be very natural.
Desde que las hizo tienen un aspecto ruinoso, digamos. Es paradójico, pero es como si hubiera construido ruinas. El lugar tiene un aspecto como una ciudad perdida, fascinante, donde una vez que estás inmerso ahí adentro, pierdes la idea del tiempo, de cuándo fueron hechas, ¿no? Podrías estar en una ciudad antiquísima,
Las Pozos has the most unpredictable architecture. You go up the stairs, you think it's going to lead somewhere, but it doesn't. You wall, and then you can climb this wall, and then it goes somewhere else, and it's the most unexpected environments ever. And that's what I like about it. The main thing I liked about Las Pozos was the fact that the environment forces everybody to do parkour. Even like the guests and the locals, they come in and they have to think where to step. There's no rails, there's no safety, there's no helmets, you have to be careful. And it kind of forces everyone to do a little bit of parkour, and that's what I like about it. If that was in England, it'd be health and safety, rails, barriers, and you wouldn't be allowed to do it. But the fact that you have to use your mind and step where you need to go, it's just amazing. I think if I lived there for like 3 months, I would be the best parkour athlete ever, because you have to do it. It's amazing.
No, yo tengo mucha curiosidad, a mí me emociona mucho que vaya a venir él, porque tiene razón, así jugaba yo. Nosotros de chavales saltábamos por las bardas, caminábamos por las bardas, saltábamos, nos trepábamos esas estructuras, saltábamos, nos metíamos por en medio de los lugares. Es emocionante imaginarse qué puede hacer aquí.
Being in a city for so long, you kind of get familiar with how things work and how they connect. And this place just changes everything. It's like you have to forget what you've already learned and adapt to this new environment. So that's what I really like about it, is that it's new to me, and it's exploring my ability to adapt. I think it was the surroundings that kind of created parkour. Without the surroundings, then we wouldn't have thought, let's get over this, or let's find the quickest way around this.
Yo creo que el parkour finalmente surge como una expresión urbana, ¿no? Surge como una expresión de adueñarse de espacios públicos que no estaban diseñados para hacer este tipo de arte, ¿no? Entonces de repente, como brincan a través de ciertos objetos urbanos, que de repente se meten en arquitectura y de repente salen, pero siempre están en interacción con cosas que hoy por hoy las tenemos concebidas como pues, la banqueta es la banqueta, las bancas son bancas, y a mí la parte que me abre un panorama completo y diferente y me encanta es esa provocación de por qué seguimos haciendo las cosas como las hacemos, por qué seguimos sentándonos en unas bancas como te enseñaron a que te tenías que sentar en una banca. Entonces este arte como una manera de provocación de si vengo y me adueño del espacio público o de la arquitectura o de donde se esté practicando ese arte, porque finalmente se puede hacer en cualquier lugar, es lo que me seduce, lo que me provoca.
It's unlimited, there's no equipment, you don't need any money, you're born ready, your tools, you take it with you everywhere, and the constant change in surroundings means that the possibilities are endless, and it will always progress, and it'll never stop, because the environment keeps progressing.
No nos dará pauta a los arquitectos a diseñar espacios nuevos. Tampoco es de que te imagines a toda la gente haciendo parkour, caminando en las calles, yendo a trabajar, ¿no? Pero sí me da como una parte donde digo, qué rico que se pueda cuestionar el cuerpo humano y la expresión a través del cuerpo humano en cierto tipo de arte para apropiarse de la arquitectura de las ciudades.
You have to dance to the beat. You have to free run to the environment. You have to do parkour too. We have to adapt to the canvas. There are similarities between Edward James's work and myself as an artist, because I like to be unpredictable. I don't like doing the same stuff again and again and again. And one thing I noticed about his structure is that never repeated itself. There were no two things were identical. Everything was unique. Every turn, every level, every obstacle was completely different, and it was so unpredictable. And I'm kind of getting inspired by him. I want to be more unpredictable, So that means I have to explore what movements I haven't done. I have to do more training and figure out what the human body is capable of.
Lo que puede ser como muy interesante de estas dos disciplinas diferentes, ¿no? De James y de Doyle, es como hoy con lo que existe de Edward James en Xilitla y como espacio virtual entre la arquitectura y la naturaleza, lo acaba rompiendo Doyle o lo interviene, ¿no? Es un espacio que no es fácil de saber dónde está, dónde quedó, porque es la arquitectura no terminada que continúa con la naturaleza, y de repente Doyle viene y brinca y entonces está traspasando donde acabó la arquitectura y cae en la tierra, ¿no? Entonces pasó de la arquitectura a la naturaleza o empezó en la naturaleza y pasó a la arquitectura. Entonces esa es la parte que se me hace como muy interesante de logra entretejer a raíz de su arte, Doyle, este espacio de comunicación entre arquitectura y naturaleza.
Parkour and nature is kind of like unexplored at the moment. I mean, we adapt to urban environments. We're seen jumping off buildings, running up walls. If you go to a natural environment like a jungle or a forest and all that, that's like going back in time to when we were like monkeys, you know, and we were still built the same. We got 2 hands, 2 feet, you know. We still should be able to do that stuff. So taking a step back would be a bit more interesting. So I want to see how well parkour adapts to a natural environment.
This is where we were before.
One word to describe Las Pozas: chaos. Total chaos. I'm gonna try. My first impression of Las Pozas was scary. Because I've been out of action for a while, it was like, this place looks so high and so solid, made of concrete. But then when I'm glad that I'm around Dyer and Rocco, the guys who can push me, and I see them move, and then I feel it. If I was here by myself, it would be a different situation. I like to train with other people because I know my style, and I'll adapt my style to any environment, so that's not really that interesting for me because I know what I can do. When I see other people moving, that's when I go, oh, that was interesting, and then I learn from them.
El trabajar con Ryan Doyle ha sido bastante agradable. Es una persona que en lo que hace es un profesional y siempre es como bastante divertido, ¿no? Poder trabajar con gente que tiene bastante experiencia.
La cualidad más grande de Ryan Doyle al estar entrenando, yo creo que es la facilidad con que hace sus movimientos. Algo que ya hizo anteriormente lo hace con una facilidad y con una fluidez muy buena. Simplemente lo que quiere repetir, lo repite hasta que lo hace bien. Yo creo que es lo mejor que él tiene.
But what people only see, like when we release a video, they only see the end progression. They see the big flip, they see the big spin, they see the big jumps, and they think that's what it is. They don't see the progression levels that have gone in between to get. If they did see that, then they would understand how easy it is, and they could go through the similar progression.
Estamos viendo esta es mi última cámara de fotos de infrarrojo y está en una batalla.
Pues adaptarse a este lugar no es complicado porque para eso entrenamos, ¿no? Realmente el entrenamiento es como de adaptación siempre, entonces no hay ningún problema en adaptarse a estos obstáculos. Digo, la única diferencia es que están un poco más resbalosos y hay que tratarlos con más cuidado, pero de ahí en fuera no hay ningún problema.
I want to explore that environment because once you've been training in a city for so long, you get bored, you get used to the same structures. Everything's square, everything's a right angle, and it doesn't really test my ability to adapt. So coming to this place in Xilitla, it's kind of putting my ability to the test and see if I can adapt to a new environment, because I believe this guy has adapted his ability to the jungle. So it's going to be quite interesting. Today was a lot more of a challenge than I thought. You know, I mean, what was the guy smoking when he thought of this? It's the most craziest structure I've ever seen, and it really put my ability to the test. You know, I mean, he's adapted his art to the environment. I needed to adapt my art to this environment, and because I've only had like one day to really explore and try my style here, I was a little nervous. And if I could come back and live here for a week or something, I'd be a different person, you know. And so I really would like to come back one day and try this again. I really feel like I need to go deeper and deeper into my style too. I feel like I've just touched the surface of what my ability can do here, and I really need more time. But I've had fun, and that's like the main part of it. Sometimes I really don't need to do like the big tricks, the big flips and spins and all that to show what parkour is about. It's basically just like walking on the top. I mean, you see me just walking around, just exploring. Adapting to this environment, I mean, is a lot more difficult than I thought, you know. I mean, not just to this environment. The term adapting means something new to me, you know. It's not an easy thing to do. Even Dyer and Rocco were a little bit reserved, and I was looking to them for like inspiration, and they were looking at me, and I was like, no, you. And they were like, no, you. And I was like, okay, what to do next? And I think I was overconfident yesterday. I mean, there wasn't many cameras, and we were just walking and checking, and then today I thought, right, I'm gonna be killing this place, and this place killed me, you know. I didn't take into consideration the heat and the how long we were going to be here and the different locations, and there's so many stairs, you know. Even if you did no parkour, just walking around this place will kill you. You need to have a lot of stamina. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration that I just forgot about.
Lo que me llevo a casa después de esta experiencia es principalmente conocer este lugar, pero también me llevo la fortuna de haber podido convivir un poco más con Ryan, porque ya lo conocía, pero en esta ocasión pues, se dio la oportunidad de convivir más con él, ¿no? Y de saber cómo piensa, que es lo principal, ¿no? Porque obviamente en sus videos normalmente se puede ver todo lo espectacular que es, pero muy pocas veces se tiene como la oportunidad de ver la gran persona que es, ¿no?
Yo me llevo a casa simplemente la felicidad que lleva a estar aquí, además de estar conviviendo con Ryan, que anteriormente pues teníamos mucho, o realmente muy poco de conocerlo, entonces ahora que lo vemos en vivo es muy diferente saber lo que piensa y lo que hace, lo que le cuesta hacer, y varios detalles que son lo que realmente enriquecen a una persona, o realmente a un traseo en este caso. Entonces eso es lo que más me enriquece a mí, o sea, el conocerlo y saber qué es lo que puede hacer, qué es lo que puedo hacer yo y qué es lo que me puede ayudar él.
What I'm going to take home with me is the experience of how difficult it is to adapt sometimes. You know, I mean, I've got an Art of Motion tournament coming up, so this is good training for me for that. And I spend too much time in the same area. The more I spend in areas that I've never been before puts my talent to the test. So coming here, and this is like nowhere I've ever been before, not even slightly familiar with other obstacles or other places. So I mean, this is the ultimate adaptation test. The place kind of forces you to think outside the box. Nature is so unpredictable, the way things evolve and the way trees and plants, and you have to evolve with that. So your brain has to be constantly open. You know, you can't be closed-minded. If you need to think outside the box, and this place has opened my mind a lot.